Alright, so this is actually chapter 2 or adventure number 2 with this Honda. My cat actually walked across my keyboard and deleted some images from the beginning of the first part. So as you can see, we have the heat on, and as you can see, this is aiming at the passenger side. I'll zoom out to really show you that we're really on the passenger side. And the temperature is, you know, really climbing up there. I've got, you know, 110 degrees. So let's bring it to the passenger. Well, on the passenger side, as you can see, the temperature is actually going down. As you can see, it's on hot. We're on dual zone, showing high, high, and on the face. And that's what's happening. That's what the complaint is. So let's go ahead and change the valve and the line. I'm not going to show you taking apart the dashboard again. There's no need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Beep! Okay. So what we first want to start out with is getting more access. Let's do we can do that by removing this bracket, which also has a wiring harness on it. Let me see if this is the right size, because the 10 didn't fit. And I've got a 9. May not be the right size either. Alright, so it's definitely a 10. Let me go grab a better 10. Alright. A 10 and see what happens. So we got the 10 on there. There we go. I can just remove this bolt so we can get some better access, because it's going to be kind of tight in here. Alright, so now that wiring harness is kind of out of the way, that's going to give us a little better access. I know that the view is kind of bad, but I can't really get the camera in there, and I don't want to put my GoPro down in there because there are some fluid's going to come out. But there's 2 metal O-rings that you have to compress to make it easier to. Actually, I'm gonna remove the brake booster line out of the way so I can get some better access to everything. All this is all about access, just to make it easier to get to everything. But I'm hoping that this really does fix the problem. Let me show you what I'm doing. You have some idea. I'm removing the brake booster line just because it's kind of in the way. There's some tabs that I'm just pushing in. There we go. They're plastic, so you know you want to be careful. So there, that's out of the way. I'm just gonna put it underneath the airbox line, and then I do have a little bit better access. So I'm actually gonna cut the camera, and then we'll get back to it once I can show you how everything's being done. So basically what I did was I removed a hose clamp on this side of the valve, and there's one right there, but it goes right there on the valve. Okay, so I removed that. This blue line, this blue cable is what connects to the motor that I replaced in part 1. But we need to actually remove it. So basically all that you do is grab the clip and pull up like that. And now it's free. Okay, so with the cable free, you should just be able to grab it. Let's get it out from there. Grab it, in theory, This is all theory that we're going by. Even replacing this valve to get the heat to work. This is all theory because online can't find anything about it. Yeah, this is not. It doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. Broke free. I'm sorry that my hand's in the way and that there's a wiring harness in the way. I really want to give you guys the best view possible, but my camera's so big and I don't like the. I'm trying to get the visual or the audio set up for the. Oh, there we go. It came off. It just a little bit of work and it comes off. So I don't know. Let me check to see the view. Okay, so what we think the issue is this. I gotta move the light so you guys can see. Oh, gosh darn it. Let's take that off. Spin it around. Or I'll just hold it. Okay, so what we think the issue is this is what controls the valve on the inside right here. And as you can see, it's just flopping around. And I'm not feeling anything like any resistance from the water on the inside. Or the antifreeze on the inside. So that's what we think the problem is. So the next step is to remove it. The other thing that you might notice is there might be might smell of gas. Slight. I'm hoping that's not a problem, but when I removed the brake booster, I noticed there was a slight smell of gas. So just to let you guys know. Alright, so what I want to do now is actually remove the coolant lines. And luckily on this, they actually do just come right off. And I have a pan underneath, so don't freak out, and you should as well. There's a pan underneath, but I think it's going everywhere it is. But there's a pan underneath. And then let's go ahead and try to remove the other side. If my arm, I think that hand's gonna get in the way. There's a bracket that makes this side that goes into the heater core a little bit more difficult. And I wonder if I can get that bracket off. Yeah, so this bracket right here, I'm gonna grab my 10mm, because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Make this a little easier. And I am literally laying on top of the engine. Yep, so it's a 10mm, so you're not cutting your hand and such. Might want to remove this bracket, and that just holds the wiring harness up. And there's actually on the opposite side, it basically slides on and there's a tab, and that's how it fits in. And there's two tabs on it. Or there's, it mounts to the wiring harness mounts to two different places. So I love these Tactun. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. New gear wrenches that I got. Alright, so as I said, it's a 10mm. I'm gonna put the bolt in my metal tray, and now the bracket is out. Put that in my metal magnetic tray, and now I can get my hand in here to pull that line off. This line is a little bit more stiff, and I know my arm's in the way, but I think that you get the gist of, how to get it off. Yeah, there we go. I just grabbed it. You can use like pliers as well to loosen it. And then, there won't be much light for a second. And then basically just pull it back. You could unbolt it from the frame, but I didn't want to have to struggle very much, and that's basically what I'm doing. Alright, so it's coming off. It's gonna leak down. Okay. Come on off. Alright, come on. look kind of dumb trying to do this, get this last one off. Alright, I'm actually gonna grab my pliers and shove it off. It's being difficult. So I'm just gonna open the pliers up along the line and just push. And again, the catch pan's underneath. Alright, can you guys see that? How I'm pushing it off? There. So I'm just doing that to get it off. There we go. It's officially off. Alright. So now, the next step is actually removing the valve. And it's this bolt right here. That's the only thing that holds it on. You actually can buy it, but I wouldn't recommend doing it this way. You can buy it where all you do is buy the valve, and it's just the screws. But these screws are in such bad shape, I would not trust that they would come out very easy. So just buy the whole thing from Honda. I can't even remember. I think it was $16 from Honda. Alright, so now basically 10 millimeter again, and I'm undoing the valve, and actually it's all finger now. Alright, and it's out. So now put that in my magnetic tray. The valve, the thing, it looks like there's a little catch thing. Yeah, there's a little prong on the firewall that fits into a hole. So now it's officially out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, so here's the valve out of the car. It's from Mexico. And let me actually change this so it's brighter. Alright, as you can see, this is just moving around. But, as you can see, it's actually not even turning the valve. Now mind you, this is a common issue that I've seen online on the forums with Honda, with the dual zone Honda Accord. The interesting thing is, can you see that, it's not, nothing's happening. The interesting thing is, people are paying $1,500 for heater core replacements, for $150 for coolant flushes, having the whole heater box replaced, but there's never any talk about replacing this part. And it seems to be, in this case, this is the issue, and people say they spend all this money, it doesn't work, but no one has ever talked in any of the forums that this is the problem, and it looks like this actually might be the problem. So I don't know if you can see it very well. My lens has been being kind of funky, but the part number is 79710-SDA A01. It's from Mexico. This car only takes one of them. Again, this was ordered from a Honda dealership. I believe it was less than 20 bucks. It was online ordered, not through the dealership, because you'll have to pay way more than that. So basically, here it is. Let's check to make sure the valve actually works. As you can see, that works. And also, the biggest thing is it stops right there. Goes up, it stops, stops. It's got a new clip on it for the line that we're also going to replace. So what do you say we install this in the car? Alright, so all the rest of this should be easy peasy. First thing we're gonna do is install the valve. I want to make sure that I have the right 10 millimeter. There were quite a few, and it's going to be this one. Alright, so there is a peg on the dashboard, and it looks like a screw. Let me move the light out of the way. And it looks like it's a, what is it called? Just a screw, basically. But, looks like I got a phone call. Let's ignore that, because this video and helping Honda owners out is way more important. Alright, so I'm just going to fish it down. It fits on the peg that also looks like a screw. And I'm gonna try to get it in. Oh, you know what's the issue is the new line, or the line is making it hard to get in. So I'm actually just gonna shove the one that goes to the heater core in, and it goes on very easy. Yeah, all right. So now, all we're gonna do is take the 10mm bolt and find the threaded hole, and there we go, kind of. Kind of doing this all blind. I can't see. You probably won't be able. All right, so I'll need to move it a little bit further over. Just a little bit. It's almost like something you actually need to do with 2 hands. But I don't want to block whatever you guys can see. All right. You don't want to cross-thread it either. That kind of feels like what I'm doing. Alright. So, I'm just going to tighten that up. Alright, so before tightening it up, I'm going to take both of the lines. Where'd the other one go? It disappeared on me. I pushed it down. Oh, okay, so there it is. Gonna put it on, and 2 hands is better than 1 in this case, and I know I'm gonna block the view. Alright, so they're both on there flush. I don't know if you can see, kind of. You guys can kind of see it. And I'm also going to put the hose clamps on it as well while I have a good view, but I'm actually gonna cut that. The one thing though is you want to put the hose clamp on the exact way it was on before you took it off, in the exact same pattern, or you'll get a leak. Alright, so as you remember, which I hope you do, there's the bracket that I had to take off to get better access. That goes right down in there. That does look like it's gonna be that much fun to actually do, because you can't really see it. So I'm putting my socket with the extension on with the bolt through the hole of the bracket to at least get it started the easiest way possible. You don't want to cross-thread it, and it feels like I'm cross-threading already. Alright, so not cross-threading it now. Then and it's got to be facing up, because that's how the wiring harness connects to it. Alright, so now it's facing up. And then get it tight, and then take the wrench to it. Alright, so it's tight. Move it over. There we go. Now take my socket wrench on it. Push the wiring harness a little out of the way. Find the bolt, and there we go. Tighten it up. I'm just putting it back. I'm not actually going to put the wiring harness. Oh, sorry that my hand's in the way. Right there. I'm actually not going to put the wiring harness back on yet, because we're going to also replace the blue line, just in case that caused the harness, or not the harness, but the valve to fail. Just, I don't want to do this and then, turns out the issue is actually, this blue line, and then have to come back and, do it all over again. So let's go ahead and head inside. So I've already disconnected or unscrewed the motor. You've seen me do that in the first video, so not going to show it again. But as you can see, there's the end of the blue cable, and basically it's held in with a push tab and then it pops right out of there's a metal retainer that's holding it in up there, and it pops out of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna take it out of the car. Alright, so as you can see, the blue cable is free. So I'm just gonna grab it, and it's gonna come through the firewall. And now it's out. Right. New one is in the bag. There's the part number. There is a difference in the sides. That smaller end goes on the valve control side. The bigger end, which is held in with a simple push tab, goes on that side. And as you can tell on this one, this obviously goes on the push tab side underneath the footwell, and this side goes on the valve side. So that hole right there, that grommet, that's what it's going to go through. The larger side, I'm going to try and show this to you. The larger side, basically I'm just going to force it through, just pushing, and it looks like it's starting to go through. Let me get you guys in focus, I'm really sorry. Alright, so trying to just, basically I'm just, yep, there, it went right through. So let's go ahead onto the interior. Okay, so we're on the interior of the vehicle. I'm gonna move you around a bit. Darn light. Face up, light. Face up. Alright, so I can see it. So I'm just gonna grab it. And let me make sure that you guys can still see where my hand is. Alright, let's try this. And basically, I know it's blurry, I'm sorry, and I'm shaking. It basically just fits right onto that simple. I'm gonna go ahead and put the motor back on. I'm not gonna show you all of that. I did it in the last video. Alright, so I know that the wiring harness is in the way. But there's only so much I can do. Let me get you guys in better focus. I think I need a new lens. This one is not working as well as it used to. There we go. Okay. So, basically, don't think it needs to go under anything. It goes perfectly fine. Basically, you're just going to take the line and pop it over the valve. I guess it would be considered an arm. That's what I'm gonna call it. Just push it over and now it's on. Lift this up right there. And there's like a little house it sits in. You know, it's a little home where it's gonna be happy and work right. And then it locks into place. That simple. Now, next is this wiring harness clicks into the bracket we took off. Or I took off. Alright. Let's see if I can find the hole. There we go. Should just be able to push it right in. And there we go. It's locked into place. And then, let's zoom you out a bit. You need to be up here to see what's next. Move you back out here, like that smooth moving. Yeah, that's because of the new camera stand that I have. Alright, so now we've got this bracket here. That it's gonna go right here. You should see, yeah, there's a little pinhole. Not a pinhole, but they call them guide holes. Take your 10mm and just gonna be finger tightening it down. Alright. Then take your socket wrench with your 10mm and fully tighten it down. Like so. Oops, look at that. Little socket wanted to stay on the car. Then take your wiring harness, and I see how it makes the noise, clips right in. This I'm pretty sure is part of the cruise control. One goes on the side, push it back into place. One goes on top, push it back into place. Now we have to put back the brake booster line. Let's move you guys again with this awesome mount, like so. Should be a good view. We don't need this light anymore. Actually, it's not that good of a light. Pop right back in there. This one pops right back in there. Put it back on the air intake. Take some pliers or whatever you got. Put it in the exact same spot, and there you go. The repair is done. So as you can see on the driver's side, it's getting closer to 100 degrees, which is awesome. The one thing you have to do though is you have to monkey around with the line that connects to the motor arm and the heater control valve, because they need to be put back in their brackets. The blue sheathing needs to be put back in the bracket, and you need to make sure that when this knob is in the high position, that the valve is opened, and when you're in the cold position that the valve is at least semi-closed, and I'll go ahead and show you that. As you can see there, the valve is in the open position, which is allowing heat into the cabin for the driver's side. Just turn the knob to the cold position, and as you can see, it has closed the valve, and it's blowing cold air into the cabin. So, as always, if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment section and try to answer all questions and comments. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.